Encapsulation. Encapsulation is one of the fundamental principles in object-oriented programming, and it's used to restrict visibility of the class members to the others. So in our example, we have vehicle class, and we define the model and the max speed variables as a private modifier. Now, if you define a variable or method with the private modifier, you can access these components from the current class only. So, we have only one way to interact with class properties, and that is through its public methods. That makes sense. Now, we define the public setter and getter methods of the max speed variable, so it can be accessed from outside the class. But we have no public setter and getter methods of the model variable, so it can't be accessed from outside the class. So why don't I show you some examples, and it'll help you to understand encapsulation. So in the object-oriented programming project, just right-click on the source folder and then select New, Class, and specify the package name as Encapsulation and the class name as Vehicle. Vehicle class is a superclass. So let's declare two instance private variables that are named model with a string type and max speed with an int type in vehicle class. Now, private means that these variables are visible to the current class only. So now let's declare a public constructor that's named vehicle, and let's assign two parameters, model and max speed. So in the constructor method, we assign a parameter variable model to the variable model of this class. And now we assign a parameter variable max speed to the variable max speed of this class. And now we use the this keyword to access same class variables. Okay, so now let's generate the public getter and setter method of the variable max speed to access from the outside. Now, in order to generate getter and setter methods, we just right-click on the file and then select Source, Generate Getters and Setters. And we'll choose the variable max speed and then click on the Generate button. So all selected getter and setter methods of the variable max speed are generated automatically. Now, we don't want to generate getter and setter methods of the variable model now, because what we'll do is we'll test it in the main method. Okay? Okay, so let's save the code. Now, let's create a new subclass. Just right-click on the same package and then select New Class. Specify the class name as car. And our subclass car extends the superclass vehicle. And what's this? We got a compilation error. So just hover your mouse on the car class, and what happens? Eclipse shows us a quick fix dialog. And then we define a constructor in the superclass vehicle. So we must define an explicit constructor in the subclass car. And we must invoke the superclass constructor from this constructor by using the super keyword. And now we can add the constructor by selecting Add Constructor in a quick fix dialog of Eclipse. And then Eclipse automatically added the constructor with the super keyword. All right, so in the class car, let's declare a private variable is automatic with a Boolean type. So that means its initial value is false. And now we add the variable is automatic to the constructor of the car class as a third parameter. And then we assign the parameter variable is automatic to the variable is automatic of this class. Now we don't want to generate getter and setter methods of the variable is automatic now because we're going to test it in the main method. So instead, let's create a main test class that's named Encapsulation Test in the same package. So in the main method, we create a car object by passing parameters. The first parameter, Ferrari, represents the model of car. Second parameter, 320, represents the max speed of the car. And the last parameter, true, represents is automatic of that car. And now we can print the properties of the car class by using our print methods. So in the first print method, we display the model of the car. And then we try to invoke the getModel method from the superclass vehicle. But we cannot access this method because we have no public getter method available of the variable model in the vehicle class. So let's open the vehicle class and generate getter and setter methods of the variable model in the same way. Okay, so Eclipse has added public getter and setter methods of the variable model. So we'll save that code. And now let's open the main class again. And let's try to invoke the getModel method. Okay, so we can access this method. And now in the second print method, we display the max speed of car and invoke the getMaxSpeed method from the superclass variable. So we can access this method because we defined the getter method in the vehicle class. Make sense? So in the last print method, we'll display is car automatic or not, and we invoke the isAutomatic method from the subclass car. Oh, but we cannot access this method because we have no public getter method available of the variable isAutomatic in the car class. So let's open the car class, and here's where we generate the getter and setter methods of the variable isAutomatic the same way we did before. Okay, so Eclipse added the public getter and setter method of the variable isAutomatic. Remember to save that code. So let's open the main class again. Let's try to invoke the isAutomatic method. All right, so we can access this method. So now let's go and run the test code. And here you see the results right here in the console. Model is Ferrari, and max speed is 320. So these properties come from the getter methods in the superclass vehicle. But car isAutomatic is true. This property comes from the getter method of the subclass car.